dolls, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I'm ready.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Susan with the Taleless Dog Booksellers in Berea, Kentucky. And tonight you're watching the very first episode of Conversations Unleashed. And I can't tell you how excited I am that our very first guest tonight is Jan Brandenburg. Do you have a cover? Can we show them the cover? Just so that you can get a taste of what it's going to look like. I love the cover. So it is a vegan cookbook of Appalachian recipes, and as Jan likes to say, she likes to veganize some of the favorites, right? The very traditional
recipes.
Yeah. So tonight we're gonna actually show you how to make something very simple that everybody has made before in their kitchen. But she has veganized the recipe, and so we'll get to that in a minute. But before we get there, I just want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and so that they have a better understanding of. And who is that?
We have some background noise from Josie, my weiner dog.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if we can get Josie in the video, we will. But until then, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been vegan since about 2006. I've been vegetarian since 1994, so a long time. So I've had a lot of practice at veganizing, and there have been some major failures, along with successes.
Like what? Like what's a major failure?
Well, one was a soybean casserole
and
that was almost inedible, and one of my kids let me know the hard way that he could not eat it. He was 5.
It was 5. Not gonna eat it, Mom.
Well, it came back up at the table, so that was
okay.
That was our most unpleasant experience, and I have not included that recipe in the cookbook.
Okay, well, so it can only get better.
So, yeah,
right.
Be
it can only
reassured,
get better from there. So okay, and so tell us what people are going to find in this cookbook.
It is mostly traditional recipes. It's a lot of things that I grew up eating, and just made in a vegan fashion. Mashed potatoes, spaghetti, casseroles, and broccoli casserole. Some of the things and some of those are they're actually very hard to veganize. I mean, you have to kind of develop a cream sauce, and you have to replace some things like condensed soups with ingredients that you can actually recognize.
So tell the audience just a little bit about the difference between vegetarian and vegan for those who don't know.
Vegetarian is they don't eat meat, and so they still might consume eggs or dairy products, or milk, cheese. Yeah. And vegan, it's really more of a lifestyle. You know, I don't wear wool. I don't do anything that comes from an animal. So I don't eat anything that comes from an animal, and I avoid anything that might have harmed an animal in the process of creating it.
The recipe that we're going to cook tonight, or bake tonight, I should say, is a chocolate chip recipe, chocolate chip cookie recipe.
Yes.
We decided to do this. We've got 2 more planned, so there will be more. If you like this one, you can come back for more. But we decided to do this one because it's sort of that basic, everybody loves chocolate chip cookies.
Yes. And understanding that a vegan food does not mean something totally foreign.
Right.
You know, it is a basic chocolate chip cookie. It simply does not have dairy and eggs.
Right. And I think you told me the last time we talked that you actually have a coworker of yours that thinks that this is better than any loaded chocolate chip cookie that he's ever had,
There
right?
are a lot of people, the small people in my life, for one, and also my coworkers who really would be disappointed if they didn't get these every week.
Every week. Okay, well, so we're going to show it to you. I'm going to step behind the camera so that I can give you an up-close view of what's going on. And at the end of this video, we will provide the recipe for you. So if it looks good and you like it, stay tuned because you'll get the recipe at the end.
I just want to go through the ingredients quickly. Of course, we have flour, and we have baking soda and salt. And those we will mix together to start with. And then these are the chocolate chips that I choose. Any vegan chocolate chip will do. Most grocery stores have one that they clearly label vegan. If not, just read your ingredients on the back. I use vanilla, and I use a lot of it, a full tablespoon. It's got applesauce, and the applesauce and the egg replacer powder are what combine together to bind the cookie. So this, you have to look in with the flour and that sort of thing to find this, but most grocery stores do carry it. It's basically tapioca starch and a few other ingredients. And then a vegan butter. And those are also very easy to find. Your oatmeal, brown sugar, and regular sugar. So there's really nothing that you can't find at a mainstream grocery store in this recipe. And I will remind everybody that they are cholesterol free. So if you have people in your family who are watching watching their fat content, then this is an excellent choice for you. I'm going to move over and begin combining the ingredients. We start with mixing up the butter and both sugars. It's going to be noisy. So you want to take a look and make sure that once you have added the ingredients, the applesauce and the vanilla and the egg replacer powder into the sugar and the butter, that it looks really nice and fluffy like this. You need it to be a little bit airy before we add in the flour, which we will do next. So I'm going to go ahead and combine flour and baking soda and salt. Those I have prepared, and we will whisk them together. This cookie actually comes together really, really easily. And it makes at least 3 dozen cookies. So you can feed all the cookie demanding people in your life. If you're like me, you have a lot. Just turn this on low speed of your mixer. I like to use parchment paper. It makes your life so easy and keeps your hands nice and clean. So you just drop them by probably about a tablespoonful. I bake them a dozen at a time. I had already preheated my oven to 350. It says 375. That's because my oven temperature is off, and yours may very well be too. So I do always recommend using an oven thermometer so that you know exactly what temperature you're baking at. Let them cool on the rack for just a minute. While they're doing that, I'm I'm gonna sprinkle them with some flaky sea salt. And this is optional, and I didn't always do it, but it seems like most people prefer it.
So Jan, this seems to be such an important part of your life, cooking and baking, and I've heard you talk about baking for your friends, baking for your coworkers, baking for your family. Do you find this to be therapeutic? Cooking?
It is therapeutic, but it's also just what I love. It's what's always on my mind. So I kind of go to bed thinking about cooking. I wake up thinking about cooking.
Do you really?
And yeah, and how you put meals together. And I really love to have people over and cook for them, and it's just what I love to do.
And food seems to be kind of the center of
It
your,
is. It puts
of
people
your relationships and your
Yeah.
world, really.
Yep, puts people in a relaxed mood, makes them comfortable. If I see people laughing, having a good time, I think it's a wonderful thing.
All right, so we have the final product right here. I'm so excited. Do I get to try it?
Yes, help yourself.
Okay. So this is the best time to eat a chocolate chip cookie, right when I'm
Right when it comes out of the
Oh my
oven.
gosh. But oh my gosh, and this is so good. And the salt, I have to say I'm the salt person.
Yeah.
Like I really like it. I like the sweet and the savory kind of together.
Certainly optional, but I do think it's a good
This is
addition.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. So
Thank
tell
you
us.
for having
Well, thank you. So tell us one more time. When is it coming out? Where can you get it? And when is your premiere at the Taleless Dog?
Well, it's coming out on March 18th. You can pre-order now from the Taleless Dog, and it will be available there on book signing day, which will be March 22nd from 2 to 4. These chocolate chip cookies will
I
be
can't
available
talk.
for sampling at that time. So please come and join us.
These are so amazing.
Thank you.
And I do have to say, I can't tell any difference. Like, I don't know that there's not butter in
No.
here. And I don't know that there's not eggs. I can't tell at all. This is amazing.
These are very good substitutions, and you really do not notice.
And
the
it's really,
difference.
I think, a very good beginner step into veganism.
Yes.
If you're interested,
Yes.
to just give it a try.
If you just want to consume fewer animal products, or if you're just watching your fat content, don't want to eat eggs, dairy, that sort of thing, then
Butter.
yeah.
Butter.
And it's a very easy recipe to prepare.
It looked easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for
Appreciate
having me.
Bye, everybody. See you next time.